Good morning. Happy Saturday morning. I was supposed to rest today, and I did not. I just needed like a dedicated booty workout. I needed a dedicated glute workout. I am loving the Ashley Horner Charlie Mike program that I'm doing, but I love traditional bodybuilding style. Love it. Love it. To me, it's just like you can up the intensity by adding more weight or focusing in on the contraction or shortening your rest time. There's all kinds of strategies you can do to intensify your workout, but I'm a big fan of a traditional bodybuilding workout. Some heavy lifts, some compound lifts, some isolation, all of it. I love it. So I got in there this morning and I did a little bit of work and I feel awesome. So I will rest tomorrow just because Sundays are a day of rest, right? Except for when I just need to work out. I love to work out. Y'all can't see. That's like so little hair. It's just not a lot of hair, but it's okay. I love it. I love my hair. Yeah, so loving my Ashley Horner program, loving the Charlie Mike, and I'm just going to do like this real quick to see if that helps, but loving the program, but I really needed to get in there and do some work. I am a little heartbroken over what is going on in the media right now, as we probably all are, and if you don't know what's going on right now in the world, you would be living under a rock to to not know. But as I've sat and I have thought, and I can't quit thinking about it. I don't think that anybody can. But I just feel like, first of all, this has gone on for as long as we have been in the world. I mean, it's gnarly and it's wicked and it's awful and it's evil, but evil has always existed in the world. I mean, think back to even medieval times, and it was brutal. People would just be gutted in front of you with swords. It was just, it's always been this way. Evil has always existed among men because we are flawed creatures. Where there are religious differences, where there are gender differences, where there are racial differences, where there are sexual identity and sexual orientation differences, where we are different as people, different being the key word, where are differences, there have always been evil, and there has always been individuals that wish to bring down others that are different than them through violent means, because I don't know why. I don't understand violence. I have never understood violence. I can think of very few times in my life that I have just been so angry with somebody that I would want to cause them harm. I mean, I just can't get there in my mind, so I can't understand where somebody would be. I would imagine if somebody hurt one of my children or my husband, that I would, or any of my family members for that matter, or any of my friends, that I could feel a lot of anger enough that I would want to hurt somebody. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like that's the answer, even if we feel that way. And my heart is just so broken for our world and for what so many people have been affected by. What's interesting that we as Americans, we're experiencing this, and this exists, and it's been around the world. This is the environment that people live in all around the world, and so it feels very new and it feels very violating, but it's the way that the world is. That said, even though it seems that there is a lot of evil in the world, understand that this has always been this way. The world has always been this way. It seems so much more because we have the media eating up and jumping on top of, and, there's viral videos. There's just an opportunity to spread this stuff. And I've had some friends who've commented on how social media is of the devil and all this kind of stuff. But I want you guys to take a beat and understand the role that you can play in this, okay? Every time that there's something bad that happens, let me back up. There is always good and there is always evil. And these two things will always exist. It's the yin and the yang of life. Just like in a marriage, you will see what you focus on. you will begin to see more and more of what you focus on. Just like in a marriage, your person is the person that they always have been, with a few exceptions. The good is still there, but are you choosing to focus on the negative behaviors more so than the good? You know, that we see that happen all the time. But in the world, this has always existed. Good has always existed right along with bad. And what we are focused on is what we see more and more of. The media loves to sensationalize and jump on bad news, and just like a car accident, we can't turn away from it. But this is what you do, because it's easy to get bogged down in this and to be troubled by it and to allow it to change your heart and to incite negative things that you wish to perpetuate out into the world to continue this systemic issue. You focus on the good, and you focus on love, and you focus on right. I'm a Christian. I have professed my Christian faith to you guys throughout the time that you've known me. One thing that I think that Christians do a really not so great job of is telling people what they're for. You know, we're really good at telling people what we're against and what we hate and what we don't like and what we shouldn't do. And we don't really spend a lot of time talking about the stuff that we are for and the stuff that we want more of. And, you know, the focus is on don't do this and don't do that and making lists of wrongs. And I think that right now we have an awesome opportunity for fellow brothers and sisters in Christ, and for others that are not believers. We have an awesome opportunity to talk about what we're for, and that is for love. That we are for love, and at the end of the day, that is God's greatest commandment, is to love our brother and sister as ourselves. If we took a minute to stop thinking about everything that's wrong about the way other people live, other cultures, other genders, other sexual orientation, other gender identification, other ages, other races, other political, you know, name whatever you want, just anybody that's different than you. If we took a beat and just stopped and tried to just pour love on that person, think about what could happen. And I'm not trying to live into some fantasy idealistic world and talk about how I believe the children are our future and all this Stevie Wonder stuff. I'm not trying to go there, but there is truth to that. There is so much truth in that. And so today, if you find yourself gripping with the harsh realities of so much negativity in the world and what role do you play and what can we possibly do, I feel like this is the first start to stop looking at other people that live different than you or have a different lifestyle than you and look at them as these alien creatures that are so different and so wrong and so focused on their wrong, and instead think about the things that are right with that person and the love that you can pour onto them. If you think about how Jesus walked among, Jesus hung out with everybody. You know, he was the kid in high school that was friends with everybody. He didn't really care. He did care, but he just was about love, you know, and it is not our role as human beings to sit down and dole out labels of you're right, you're wrong, you're right, you're wrong, because at the end of the day, who is the authority on that? You know, I don't know that any of us in our lifetime are, and I certainly am not the authority on it, but I just think that the answer right now is love, a lot of love, and more love on people that don't deserve it. Do you know that the people that don't deserve it usually need the most love? You may be one of them. One of the greatest gifts we can give our fellow man is a gift of love and grace and mercy, and I feel like we need that right now. It's dark times, but it's always been dark times. Always been dark times. It's just perpetuated and more aware in the media. Do your part in this and start talking about what you're for. Focus on the good. Look for the helpers. Pour love onto people even when they don't deserve it. And just practice love. Practice mercy and forgiveness. I can't emphasize that enough. For yourself and for others, it's just one of the best things we can do, and I feel like that's what we need right now. All you need is love. La, da, 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 da. So there's your song for today. They had it right. All we need is love. All right. Well, kids, I'm going to get this day started. I'm going to go spread some love out in the world, be the light into the world as we've been called to be, and I hope you'll do the same. Y'all take care. Have a lovely weekend. Goodbye.